as you're creating content, there are a lot of elements that you have to think about. And in the beginning, you want to keep things pretty simple. But as you start to get more comfortable on camera and with your gear, you can start to upgrade that style. So let's talk about 3 fun elements that you can add to your videos. The first element that you can add to upgrade your video style is to add really fun transitions.
So you see what we did there? The thing we just did? That's a thing. There are other things you can do, like this thing. Maybe you should warn your camera operator what you're gonna do before you do it. So this thing. By the way, I do not recommend doing this to someone in real life if you need to, transition your conversation.
It's not you, it's me.
So I went to the grocery store today. So you can find like a million different types of those in-camera transitions and try them out on your own videos, search them up, try different things, make up your own. But you can also do something like this. So what you're listening to here is the audio from the next take, and then I walk into it, so it makes it a very smooth transition. You can see this all over in like an old TV series, travel series by Rick Steves, if you want to look that up. But let's see some more examples of things that'll make your videos more interesting.
The next thing that you can do to make your videos more interesting, if you're a little boring on camera or maybe you're just out of ideas, is you can bring on a buddy. Come here, buddy. So we do our videos in a lot of different ways. Sometimes we're on camera by ourselves, sometimes we're together, and I do find that when it's not just me all alone staring at you, I can be a little more fun. I think it brings a different side of me out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's more flavorful. It's like you have your meal, you've spent all this time cooking it, but then you forget to put the sauce on top. Adding a buddy is like bringing in the sauce.
Adding in the sauce.
It's, in my opinion, it's all about the sauce. So.
Well, it's nice too because you can kind of bounce ideas off of each other. So sometimes like we film a lot of videos in a day, and I'll find as I get towards the end of the day, I'm like, I feel like I've said this over and over and over and I don't have a new way to say it. But if we're doing a video together, then it could be like, oh, you just sparked an idea. Like, yeah, let's talk about that. That's great. And it's not just only coming from my brain, but now I get a second brain.
There's visual interest to having 2 people on camera. There's also the idea bouncing that naturally happens. And then there's also just kind of, an energy dynamic that happens when you invite somebody else on camera. It kind of reduces some of your awkwardness. It helps you feel more comfortable. It's, truly not like it's me in the black void of the lens. It's,
yeah. Maybe it brings out more awkwardness, actually.
well, awkward, but like in a good way? I don't know.
Also, find somebody prettier than you to be on camera. That'll boost your videos instantly.
But which one of us is the prettier one?
We all know. We all know. Put it in the
Let us
comments.
know in the comments.
Put it in the comments. Who's the prettier one? Just kidding. Please don't.
Please don't
Please
do
do
that.
not do that. That will hurt my feelings.
Or hurt my feelings.
No, it'll hurt my feelings. The third element that you can add to your videos just to make them a little more interesting is adding some movement using a gimbal. So I'm going to have Allie demonstrate that.
So a move we like to use for all of our clients, which really helps them when they start to get stiff like this, is I add movement by having them do what we call the banana. This path right here is a perfect example of the little quarter turn or the semi-curve. And then you just want to come to a landing and have your last point, which is add as much movement as you can where you're comfortable into your videos, and it just brings more interest. Another thing that you can do if you don't have a gimbal is just simply a walk-up for a transition to a new point. It's a great way to start your video, and it brings more interest. Also, you'll notice that I am framed center right now, and if you have a camera operator helping you, I can continue talking and have the feeling of movement as they move to 1/3, framing me off on the one side, and then you can also pan back the other direction to frame me to the other side. Normally this would be a lot slower drift than what we're just showing you, but we wanted you to get a very obvious example of movement either coming forward, like a push in like this, or just the drifting side to side as you change your pan.
These are just a couple of different small examples of things that you can do to make your videos more interesting. Now, one thing I want you to keep in mind is that these things do take longer, right? This video is taking us quite a bit longer to put together than maybe one of our talking head videos. So if you're trying to do the bulk play where you're gonna film a ton of videos in a day, you might only be able to do 5 videos instead of 15. So that's something to keep in mind as you're doing it. But it is a really good way to sort of mix up what you're doing so you don't always have the same kind of videos. One of the very best ways to get burnt out is by just doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? I was kind of at the point where I was like, I'm sick of sitting in my office filming videos. So now we're out and about. This is gonna be a really fun day. It's gonna reinvigorate that excitement of making these videos. We have a ton of other videos like this that go into video production, editing, how to do YouTube, and more. So make sure that you subscribe. We are your video allies. You've got this. We've got your back, and we cannot wait to see what kind of content you create.